Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So I want to try another Dirty Pour bloom. A lot of you suggested I try an interference color. I'm going to do that today. I'm choosing interference red, and I'm going to pair that with copper and with brown and of course my ocean white. But I'm not going to do all those colors in the Dirty Pour. I'm going to do, I think, this brown, one of these colors. I'm going to pour in this edge like I did on that purple tray I did last week or the week before. I lose track of time. So I'm going to pour a color around the edge and then pour my clear in, kind of like a geode style, and that's going to give me a background, built-in background, so I don't have to do it later. So let me figure out what colors I'm going to put together, what colors I'm going to put on the edge. I'm going to mix up, this holds 6 ounces total. So because I don't want to put a back layer, I'm going to mix up 7 ounces so I have enough for all these colors to be, I know I'm not going to use them all, but I need enough to be able to mix them all together and have extra. So let me get some fast cure resin mixed up. This one right here on the screen, that's the one I use for all my blooms because it comes out so great. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to put it through the vacuum chamber for about 5 minutes, get all those bubbles out, and then we're going to let it sit in the cup until it heats up to like 33 degrees, right around there, or Celsius, and then we'll get started. I'm so excited. I hope I do this one better than the last one. The last one I didn't put enough of the mica powders in, so I'm going to just do it how I feel like it needs to be done. Whether it works or not, we're going to find out together. Okay, now that I got all the bubbles out, this is draining. Let me move that out of here. What I'm going to do is start mixing up my colors while I wait. It's about 31 degrees right now. So I think I'm going to do the edge copper, and I want about 1 ounce of that. So that's that one. And the rest I'm just going to split about 1/3 of an ounce, maybe. Like 1/3 of these little cups. And I need 3 of them, I think. Then I'm just gonna kind of wing it as far as how much powder I put in, because the last time I did it, I was so afraid it was gonna be too heavy. I didn't put enough in, and I couldn't see the color. So I'm just gonna mix these together so it could warm up evenly without, I'm trying not to add bubbles, but I probably am. So we'll just have to get rid of them inside. Yes, I definitely added bubbles. That was not good. Hopefully they'll surface. Otherwise it will affect my petals. All right, move that out of the way. I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes. Okay, the first one, like I said, I'm going to do my outer border in the copper. So I'm going to just mix the copper like I normally would, since it's not part of the bloom really. It's just going to be behind it. And I just don't want to see the stick. This one is Copper by Let's Resin. This one came in that 60 pack that I got a while back. I think I'm still working through all the colors, but I know I've used this one because it was already opened. And these cups are not good for mixing. Somebody needs to invent a cup without these little ribs in it. Don't know what the purpose of them are other than to frustrate us resin people. Everything gets stuck in there. I don't understand why they made them like this. Just make sure you mix it good if you're doing this kind of technique. You don't want your powders floating or sinking or Okay, so I can't see my stick, so that's pretty good for that one. We're gonna set that aside. Hopefully the bubbles will come out naturally. All right, so I'm gonna mix up some brown for one of them. And I was like so like careful about how much I put in, which I'm still gonna be careful, but I'm just going to make sure that I really can't see the stick without overdoing it. Which that looks good. So I think I put about double in that I did the last time I did a dirty pour. I think this is only the second time I'm trying this, so I'm definitely no expert at all. I'm learning, and I want to learn. I want to get this one. Once you get something down, which is what I tell people, once you get the bloom, I know a lot of you are struggling, but once you figure it out, you're always going to get it, unless you do a major mishap. Okay, this is my interference red. Let's start with that much. And so many of you wanted me to try interference colors, so this is why I'm doing this today. And I thought the red would be pretty with the brown. It's just a slight tinge of red. It's almost a purpley red, but hopefully it'll go with the colors I chose. And I cannot really see through that, so that looks pretty good, I think. I don't think I could see through it. It's hard to tell on the stick. It's almost the same color. Well, oops, there's some more mixed in, not mixed in. All right, now I'm going to do my white. And I did start adding a little bit of mica to my white. This is Mother of Pearl. I got this at Michael's. And this I'm just going to do the ever so slightest amount. Not much at all. And then we'll put the paste in. I like my paste whiter than most people because I like to see my petals pretty clearly. I just want to get my mica mixed up first. All right, and now we're going to do the ocean white. Usually it's 2 drops for me, but I always start with 1 on the end of my stick. It all depends on how much resin you have. See, that's a little thin for me. I could still kind of see my stick, and I don't like to do that. So, like I said, it's usually always 2 drops for me. Whoops. But you guys do what you like. I mean, everybody has personal preferences. You don't have to exactly match what I'm doing. The heavier your white is, obviously, your white will drop and blob and sometimes fall through your resin. So you got to be careful with your white, of course. That looks good to me. Let me move that out of the way. Check the temperature of this. Let me just get my stick wiped off here. All right, so let's see where we are. Yeah, perfect. Well, 32.5. So that's good. I am just going to pop these bubbles on the top. All right, so I'm gonna do that in here as well without melting my cups, hopefully. All right, are you guys ready? Oh, look at that. I'm not ready. I have to wipe my, I've got powder in there. See, that's what happens when I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. Let me get that out. There's some resin in there from dripping, which I don't care about, but I don't want my powders in here. Good enough. All right, are you ready? What I'm going to do first, hopefully not create any bubbles, I'm going to go around this little edge. And before I move on with that, I'm just going to take a little dotting tool and go around these edges so I don't know, because I can't see through it, but hopefully any bubbles that I just created there are going to be released. So the inside and the outside of this edge. Whether it works or not, it's hard to say because you can't see through the resin. If it was clear, I would know exactly what I needed to do, but it's not, so hopefully it works. All right, now I'm just going to go back around the edge evenly. And it's going to come up over, which is what I want it to do. All right, that's good. So now I'm going to take my clear and I'm going to pour it almost to full. I'm just going to let it settle before I see how full it is, because I don't want room for a back coat. And that's pretty full. Okay, but it leaves me enough space for my pigments. I see a couple little things in there I don't want. Little specks that I don't want. Oh no, that's a piece of powder. Let me try to get that off. That's good. Now's your chance to fix anything on the bottom, because you will see that's going to be the top, and that was a bubble I just pulled off. Okay. Everything looks good now. Let me just... Bubbles aren't bad, actually, for pouring them together. All right, so I got my empty cup here. Let me just pop the bubbles on top of these again. Perfect. I'm just going to mix them. White. Oops. Brown. Then the interference. And I'm going to do that again. I want to end with white and start with white in my head, because white is my most important, I feel, is my most important. So I want it to come out in the beginning and the end, and in the middle. I definitely don't need this much. I'm clearly going to be making extras with it. All right, so there's that. I'm just going to take a stick. Where's a stick? Hang on. I'm just going to do that, kind of marbling it. Are we ready? Here we go. All right, well, I used it all. That's amazing. Let me just torch some bubbles. And then we're gonna make our petals. There's a bubble right there. Now hopefully this technique works with this copper. I don't know. I never did this before with a dirty pour. I did do it with just my white pigment. So I don't know what to expect, if it's gonna completely take over or not. Oh my gosh, now I'm second guessing myself. All right, well, that's it. I'm just gonna keep going back to it, watching it, letting the bubbles rise and pop them. I don't know what that is right there. Okay. I will see you on demold. Everything is cured. It's time to unmold. I'm going to make a keychain with you with this one. I poured the rest of the resin. I had a lot left, so I mixed all the colors together and did dirty pours for both of these. This is my hippo mold, like this guy. And this is the turtle mold from Into Resin. I do not sell this one. This one is from Into Resin. But before that, I got some mail today, so I thought I would share it with you. I also went to the store, so I got like a whole bunch of stuff that might inspire you guys. So these three I got from Hobby Lobby, which I don't use a lot of this stuff, but it was 40% off of $4.99. So these are like little crushed crystal things that you would use like in the center of a bloom or whatever you would want to use it in. And this one is glow in the dark, and of course works well with UV resin. Glows in the dark, same thing, just a little bit larger crystal. So I got those from the store. And then remember Georgia, who mailed me some happy mail last week. This was included, this huge box or bucket of magic pour. She sent me the next day, I got a bunch of colorings for it. So she had sent me one of them the other day. I think it was this red one. Then the next day, 3 more came, the pink, the blue, and the black. So these coloring powders go into the magic pour. So that will be fun to play around with. I'm also thinking of trying to make some pigment paste from these colors, because I don't think that these are going to be like sparkly. So I wanted some pigments maybe that I might be able to use in a bloom. I'm not sure, so we might try that in a separate video. And she also had this in the box, so these are some fake eyelashes for my little friends here. I'm not sure if I have anything this big, but this would be good on that tray. That's what I think they're for. The trays that me and Don made with the open mouths, so I think these would be good for that. Then I got a Temu package, and unfortunately these were way smaller than I wanted them to be. So these are going to be for some super tiny pendants. They are little pinch bales. I thought they were bigger than this. I never know what size pinch bales to order. Clearly these were the wrong size. I also grabbed me one of the turtle molds that me and Renee did together from Temu. So this finally came today because this has so many possibilities that I wanted to have my own mold. And while I was at it, because I loved those nail flakes she left me so much, I ordered me a whole bunch of them, different colors. These also came from Temu. There's not a whole ton in here the way I use things, so I'll probably run out pretty quickly. And then I also got this little package of a whole bunch of different colors. And then I got one more mold from Temu that is going to take a massive amount of resin. It came with these blocks of foam. It is a little chest of drawers. Let me show you. I have put it in the foam just because I wanted to see how it was going to work. So this is the little drawer chest, which is super cool shaped. So this foam is going to hold it in place when you pour the resin, because it's probably going to hold a whole lot of resin. So that's what fits in there. And then these are the drawers that go on it. I was just trying to see which ones they fit. So these will fit inside. So it came with 3 drawers, and it looks like there's hearts and spades, which I didn't realize that was on there until now. So I'm kind of stuck with them, but that's all right. So I'm going to fit these back in there. And then these are arms, and the arms go on the side somehow. I think this one goes on this side. I don't know. All I know is the arms hold up a tray, and this is the tray, which is out of shape. Not happy with that. And it's kind of like a little guy holding a tray, if you know what I mean. So I have to figure all this out, see how much resin it's gonna take, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. But I have some planning to do with this one, because I wasn't expecting these. I didn't look close enough, so I don't really want the card theme, but it's gonna have to be incorporated somehow, some way. Are you guys ready to unmold? So let's start with this one first. Like I said, I just dirty poured everything with the last couple ounces, so it's different colors, which is okay. The interference kind of looks discolored, but that's the interference color right there that you're seeing. So I'm going to drill a hole right through his foot. I don't have my drill on this side of the room, so let me go drill that. Okay, so I put a hole right through his little foot. Here's the back. The back is actually prettier than the front, marbling wise, but that's okay. So those of you who were cringing the last time I was putting keychains together, look, I bought some new tools. So I will be doing my jump rings properly for you, so you can see that I don't do everything wrong. So I'm just going to open this up. Just twist it. Don't like open it. Just twist it open. And then I'm going to put it in here. I grabbed some keychains already with the chain to save me some time. Hook it on there, and then grab my other tool, and we're just going to twist it back together. When you have the proper tools to do things the right way, then they are the right way. All right, so there is that. And then, oh, I wanted to put a little, oh, that's too big. I was going to put a little charm on there, that's kind of too big, but I will put on this little tassel since it's brown in the brown family. Whoops. So it's just another jump ring. I'm just going to attach it here, close it off the same way as the other one, and there is your keychain for the day. I usually do this stuff off camera because I don't want to take up all your time, but a lot of people wonder how I do it. So there's that. You can always put a smaller one on, but I think that's kind of too big. So I'm not going to put that on right now. So let me put these away, and let's go and do this hippo. He pops right out. Oh, look at him. So you can kind of get the different colors. Unfortunately, they all meld together to make a copper, which isn't horrible. So I'll do something to his little ears, eyes, nose, mouth. So I'll get that in the final pictures. I'll show you before the final pictures. I got to trim up the bottom. So let's get on to this. This, I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping this didn't happen to this. I'm really, really hoping we could see a flower. It's still warm, so it's a little bendy. All right. If it did meld together, I will try it again without putting this copper backing on. I would just put the backing on later. Are you ready? Well, it worked, but I kind of wish I didn't put the copper backing on now. You could see the iridescence. So I think what happened was the copper was so strong, it took away the brown that I had in there. However, it blooms really nicely. I'm not upset. I actually really like it, but I would like to do it without the backing and see what happens. What is that on there? There was something on my mold. I wonder if I can clean that off. Anyway, what do you think? It's hard to see with the glare on the lights, but the bloom came out beautiful, so I could put that much mica powder in. I just wish I didn't put the backing on. So I will have to try that again on a future video. Let me finish this up, get you some good pictures. I will be right back. She's all decked out and ready to go on a date. What do you think? I put a little bow on her back. I put little pretty shoes on her feet. She's got her nose rings in and her earrings on. And of course, her fancy dancy sunglasses. The only thing I didn't put on was a crown because the crown was going to clash with the sunglasses on this outfit. So I didn't do that. So there is my hippo for the day. So that's it for today, you guys. The only thing I need to do to this is because there was something on my mold, which is I had to wipe off still. So I don't know what was on there. It's not on there now. So I do have to pour a clear layer of resin on this and let it cure. I don't need to do that on camera, but this will eventually end up on eBay because I think it is really pretty. And I just don't like that mark on here right here. So I'm going to put a clear layer of resin, let this cure overnight before I end up listing this. So I will still get you some pictures. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. I am definitely going to try this again without the backing color and see what we come up with. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. You guys all have a blessed day. Bye.